As tensions escalate between Israel and Yemen's Houthi group, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels say they have fired 2 missiles at Israel hours after the Israeli military said it had intercepted a projectile launched from the country. Houthis targeted Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport and a power station in south of Jerusalem. The rebels also said they attacked the American aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out 2 specific military operations. The first targeted the Israeli enemy's Ben Gurion airport in the Jaffa area in occupied Palestine using a hypersonic ballistic missile type Palestine II. The other operation targeted the power station south of occupied Jerusalem using Zulfikar ballistic missile. The 2 missiles hit their target successfully.
The IDF has said in a statement that following the sirens that sounded in central Israel, a missile launched from Yemen was intercepted by the Israeli Air Force prior to crossing into Israeli territory. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations has issued what he called a final warning to the Houthis to halt their missile attacks on Israel, saying that they otherwise risk the same miserable fate as Hamas, Hezbollah and Syria's Bashar al-Assad. The United Nations envoy added that Israel will not tolerate attacks by Iranian proxies, warning Tehran that Israel has the ability to strike any target in West Asia, including Iran.
I'm saying to the leadership of the Houthis, I have a message for you today. Perhaps you have not been paying attention to the lessons of this past year. Let me remind you what happened to Hamas, to Hezbollah, to Assad, and to all those who sought to destroy us. This is not a threat. It is a promise. You will share the same miserable fate.
The Houthis have been firing missiles and drones at Israel and ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden since October last year. They say the attacks are in solidarity with Palestinians caught in the war in Gaza. United Nations rights experts have said that Israel must face the consequences of inflicting maximum suffering on Palestinian civilians in Gaza, alleging that Israel is defying international law and being sheltered by its allies. The 11 experts say in a joint statement that Israel has openly defied international law time and again and continues to face no real consequences, largely due to protection offered by its allies. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on Gaza has risen to over 45,500 and this is according to Gaza's health authorities. Now, in the past 24 hours, at least 27 people were killed and 149 others were injured. The latest, the IDF has said that dozens of Hamas militants were killed in overnight ambushes in North Gaza's Jabalia. The Israeli military also said that its air force intercepted 2 rockets from northern Gaza. And for the latest, our correspondent Jody Cohen reports from Ranana.
I spoke to a senior government official who said the Hamas terror group designed this war to cause maximum harm to the most vulnerable Gazans in order to curry favour in the international media. He said Israel is aware of the tragic situation, that it's hard to see how Hamas treats their own people, and that Israel will always do its utmost to get aid in to help Gazans in the midst of a war. He said Hamas could release the hostages and lay down their arms and the war would be over. Meanwhile, negotiations for the release of the hostages who have been held captive in Gaza for 452 days appear to be faltering, but are reportedly ongoing. And with less than a month until the US inauguration, President Trump has threatened hell to pay if all 100 hostages are not home by January 20th. On the eve of the new year, there will be many prayers for the return of the hostages and an end to the war in 2025. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.